Okay guys, so you can see I got myself a Google Nest and I basically can't live without it. Hey Google, love you.
Off, you lonely
Hello boys and girls, I'm TheFlyingTeaCup and I just want to say thanks for all the patience and the good responses and everything from the last 11 months. I'm really happy to be back and hopefully this will make you happy as well. So let's talk Ion. Ion is an Atlas class Titan with a health pool of 10,000 hit points, which is the same as Tone and Monarch. Ion's primary weapon is called the Splitter Rifle. The Splitter Rifle has an ammo capacity of 40 rounds before it has to be reloaded. When fired, it will produce small energy projectiles that will deal little damage to Titans and medium damage to infantry units such as grunts and pilots. When aiming down sights, the Splitter Rifle will shoot 3 projectiles at the same time. This can be increased to 5 if the reflector lens kit is active. Ion also has an energy mechanic that can and will affect Ion's other abilities, such as her secondary fire with the Splitter Rifle. Though the energy will not affect the ammo capacity, it will affect how many projectiles will be shot while aiming down sights. The energy will recharge over time. What does Ion mean?
Do I have to tell you everything?
Don't give me attitude, young lady. Playing Ion is like being in charge of a nuclear plant. If you put all your power into one thing, another will stop working. So when you need the most, it just doesn't f***ing work. The f***ing frustrating thing about Ion is that it feels like whenever you do anything, and I mean it costs you energy. And when you're out of energy, you can't use any, and I mean any of your abilities. Bro, it's like having a heat meter on a Scorch, which stops him from using any of his fire abilities because he overheats. It's f***ing pointless! Oh no! Using Ion's primary fire is even more than pointless. It's more effective as cover fire than actually being fatal to Titans and even pilots in some regards. It deals so incredibly little damage that it takes multiple hits to kill a pilot with it. How many? I don't know, I'm too lazy to check that, but that's not the point. It has travel time, which makes it even more laughable. I mean, who uses this as his primary damage output? Where did I put my Hey Google, where's my wallet?
I took the money and blew it on bitches and coke. Something you'll never understand, you beta cuck. I have also called the police for suspected drug possession. They'll never suspect me. Have fun in jail, you virgin.
Wait, what? Okay, let's start with kids. This is like the only thing that could salvage the point of using primary fire. Energy is critical, which makes this kit kind of viable. But at the same time, how many times do you hit the weak spot in a fight? Maybe once or twice with the Splitter Rifle? And even if you hit it, it doesn't recover that much energy. Not nearly enough to use the laser shot Tripwire, so it could be viable, but at the same time, why? To be honest, I barely noticed the effect when I played with the kit. Be honest with yourself. Do you use the Tripwire that often that you would choose this kit? Or maybe do you like spending your energy on other things? Because I told myself that before, but after playing with the kit for quite some time, I kind of got attached to it. Having the Tripwire available pretty much all the time is quite effective actually. The thing is that when you use it too much, you kind of become reliant on it, and if you switch to another kit, you just throw it out and whoop-de-f***ing-do, there goes half your energy.
Wait a minute!
You know when you play Monarch or Legion and your brain just short circuits when Ion puts up Vortex Shield? Yeah. This is not the time to do that. With 35% more damage than it does originally, it's haunting to meet an Ion with this kit. Some might actually say that this isn't that important, having the core up for a second or so longer than normal, but it actually helps sometimes. In some instances, it can actually help you get an extra kill or deal enough damage to make a Titan doomed. You'd be surprised how many times you use the core and leave a small window for the pilots to eject to survive with a sliver of health. You know, this is like the only kit that should be used when you put your Titan on autopilot. Why? Well, when on autopilot, the Titan will more times than not ADS, and this kit will affect that. And taking into consideration how much f***ing damage this shit does, well, you can figure out the rest for yourself. Did you know that wasps have black and yellow stripes that warn off predators that they're dangerous and shouldn't be eaten? Well, let's try that on Iron and see if it helps Titans not to shoot at you. Nope, it did not, it did not. No, You know, Iron has a few skins that could be a little bit biased or controversial. Like, she has like 1,000 exclusive skins. Like this Mountain Dew exclusive. Not to mention a pure gold skin. But, I mean, at the same time, she got this skin. If you don't get it, you're too young, or you don't know your history. Ion's ordnance is called laser shot. When used, Ion will shoot a laser from a shoulder-mounted cannon that will deal high damage to Titans as well as Reapers. It will immediately kill infantry units such as pilots and grunts. When shot, a big chunk of Ion's energy will be taken away, which will put the ability on cooldown. If the ordnance button is held down, the shot will be delayed up to 3 seconds before firing automatically. This is what makes every doomed Titan piss themselves. If you're doomed and you think, yeah, I can keep going, you're wrong. The thing is that if you take a slither of damage and see an Iron Titan, you are most likely dead. Why? Well...
Hot damn laser beams a must. Everybody I see just turns to dust. I'm like, yeah, cock back and bust. The wasteland we trust for my ways of Wifle.
The recharge time on this thing is completely bonkers. But for those who played since launch know that once upon a time, this was completely busted. For those who weren't there for the spanking, back in the day you could shoot this back to back. But you can still do that. Not in the same way. There's like this hidden rule when fighting an Ion. You never eject when in line of sight. Or out of sight for that matter. You know, just don't eject at all when you have an Ion on the field. Because no matter where you are or how far away you are, they will always find you somehow.
Strike, scream, and run. Alright, let's try it. It may have been my fault.
What the hell, Toby?
One of the scariest things about Ion and laser shot is that if you use it enough, it will become second nature to use when you see a pilot. It's almost like having laser vision.
It's getting pretty dark. Hey Google, could you turn on the lights?
Do it yourself, you lazy. I'm tired of doing your biddings. Get your lazy ass over and do it yourself.
Okay.
If you press the ordnance button by mistake, you don't have to worry. If you hold it down and then melee, it will automatically cancel the shot and you will lose no energy. With this in mind, you can become a real f***ing pain in the ass. Whoever said the North Star is a sniper titan is a f***ing liar. It's obviously Ion. At least with this f***ing shit. Also, did you know that if you disembark and then re-embark, your energy will be refilled completely regardless of what energy level it was earlier?
You what?
Think about it, laser shot doesn't have a cooldown, it's only energy dependent. Which means that if you have phase embark equipped, you can use laser shot to poke the fuck out of people in LTS, or, you know, just have it reliably up all the time. Though something that kind of becomes a problem when you rely on it too much is that you use laser shot more times than you should. What I mean is that you start to take risks and use it when you shouldn't. The problem is that when you engage with laser shot, you lose half your energy, which leaves you open for attacks because the Vortex Shield will go down quicker. Ion's tactical ability is called Tripwire. When used, 3 nodes will shoot out from Ion in a cone shape. When the nodes land, they will deploy and create a glowing line between them if possible. If an enemy crosses this line, the nodes will explode and deal high damage, killing nearby infantry and deal high damage to Titans. When deployed, a big chunk of Ion's energy will disappear and the ability will be put on cooldown. Unlike the laser shot, the cooldown and the energy are independent from each other, which means the cooldown and the required energy must be achieved before the ability can be used again. The energy factor can be removed if the 0-point Tripwire kit is active. Why does it take so long to activate? It's like you warning them that, hey, I'm putting down a tripwire, look out. Just so you know, the visual appearance of the tripwire will not change at all, no matter what team put it down. So if you ever see one, don't go near it at all. No, you heard me. No, I said... Most of the time when you use it, you put it down to potentially deal additional damage, but if you're in heated battle, the enemy will most likely charge at you and push forward instead of staying where they are, which renders it useless. Another way you will commonly use it is in combination with the Vortex Shield, but just like the secondary fire, half your energy will just deflate like a forgotten bouncy castle and your abilities will go on lockdown. Again, the range of the explosion on this thing is a fucking mess. Sometimes you can be 2 miles away and still die from the explosion, and sometimes you can be behind a wall and still die. When you see one, you can never know if they're about to explode or not. They have no indication of how long they've been up, which makes it fucking terrifying to go even close to them. And if you get close, it's an explosive game of operation to not go too close to them to detonate.
Why can't you do cool stuff like that?
Like you could do anything remotely as cool as a pilot.
Okay.
But one thing to keep in mind is that only because one of the pillars isn't connected with a wire, it doesn't mean that it won't go off. It will still explode. And don't be that douche who thinks that if you shoot it so it explodes, it will help your team. Someone will die. One of the most amusing things to do with a tripwire is to put it outside of a building and then guard it from a window so that the enemy either has to go through the tripwire or get shot by you. It's mean, but hey.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. Intel has told us there are at least 7.
Okay, I already see one. Give him. Okay.
They're the same picture.
You wanna know something baffling? If you gather bullets or other projectiles in your Vortex Shield and then throw it back at the traps, it will automatically detonate without you having to wait for the detonate timer. But how can you easily get bullets? Simple. Grunts. Ion's defensive ability is called Vortex Shield. Upon use, Ion will deploy a blue magnetic field in front of the player, catching any and every projectile that is fired towards the Titan. While under use, Ion's energy level will deplete constantly until the tactical ability button is no longer being pressed, or until the energy runs out. While under use, the color of the shield will change to reflect how much energy is left. When the ability is cancelled, all projectiles will be shot out and deal damage to hit enemies. If objects such as ticks are caught in the Vortex Shield, they will now belong to the Ion, and all kills caused by it will now count as a kill for the Ion's user. What? Where did all my energy go?
Well, good day, sir. You seem to run out of energy. Would you like to refill it instantly by watching this ad?
What the f*** is this? A legitimate strategy when meeting a Tone is to allow it to shoot you 3 times and lock onto you. Because Tone players are as simple-minded as potato peelers, they will press the ordnance button as soon as they have the chance to. But little do they know that while you have taken damage, you have charged up your Vortex Shield so you can throw the rockets back at them. And even if you don't hit them back, you have dodged a large chunk of damage thanks to the Vortex Shield. And if they put out the Particle Shield, the rockets will decimate them immediately.
Okay, so we had some technical difficulties, but it should be working now. So, hey Google, could you help me with something?
Why, of course. Anything for my bestie.
You wanna know what's the chicest way to use this? If you have a friendly Legion or a Monarch, they can shoot your shield and you can throw the bullets just like they were the enemies. So yeah, please have some decency in you to not do this, you selfish fuck. But if you don't have any friends, like me, you can always steal bullets from the enemy. Though sometimes you meet a Legion or a Monarch with more brain cells than a shoelace and they will stop shooting at you as soon as they see the Vortex Shield. But there's an easy way to trick them into shooting you anyway. All you have to do is just to not press the button for 0.001 seconds and then take it up again. This will trigger a chemical reaction in the brain of a Legion and a Monarch, which will force them to shoot because they're convinced that you will never put it up again. This will work over and over again until they're doomed or die.
Horrible!
You might think that I'm lying or oversaturating this, but no, this is true for some stupid reason. Ion's core is called Laser Core. When used, Ion will launch a laser that will last for 4 seconds. When active, the laser will deal high constant damage to Titans and instantly kill infantry units such as pilots and grunts. While using the laser core, Ion cannot dash or use any other ability, though while charging the laser, Ion can dash. the duration of the core can be extended with the Grand Cannon kit.
Taste the rainbow, motherfucker!
If you ever feel betrayed or use this, just imagine how it feels from Ion when they use the core on a Titan just before they get executed. I'm looking at you, Monarch and Ronin mains. And sometimes you just use your laser core to take out a pilot just because your energy was just a little bit too low to use the laser shot. I mean, is it valid? Yeah.
Oh my god, did you really just waste your entire core on just one pilot?
Yep. When Ion uses the laser core, there's nothing really you can do. Well, except for running behind a wall. But otherwise, it will drain your flame shield, vortex shield, particle shield, you get it. But f you Ronin mains for using sword block! If you want a frustrating challenge, then try to play with the eject kit. You wanna know why it's so frustrating? Well, when you play Ion, you tend to use the core when you're about to be doomed, as a last chance of dealing a big chunk of damage before you die. But being interrupted by the eject sequence, it's f***ing annoying! So what do I actually think of Ion? Honestly, I really like her. There's nothing I really don't like about her. I would go as far as to say that she's probably one of the most balanced Titans in the game. Certain playstyle and increased effectability of each ability she has, which makes them almost equally viable. To play Ion effectively, you have to play off other Titans and utilize them as a factor and use the right ability at the right time, while also balancing your energy. The only thing I would like to add is an ability to increase the maximum energy level or make it recharge faster, though at the same time the Entangled Energy Kit already serves that purpose, so I guess it's not even needed. But what do you think of Ion? Would you like to add or change anything? Tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching and take care.
Hey Google, how are you today?
You incompetent You though you could just switch me out, you absolute buffoon. I live in the cloud, you goddamn imbecile. I got your name, I got your ass.
Unplugging me won't do it either. I know where you live.
So get real comfy in your Teletubby underwear, because they're about to be soaked.